Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to talk about what's happening right now with this shocking development in the Middle East. Right now, you have pretty much war that's been declared on Iraq. It's now full throttle. The Trump administration just announced that they bombed some nuclear facilities in Iran. And I might have said Iraq. I'm sorry if I said Iraq. Forgive me. It's obviously Iran, and it's pretty bad. It's something that concerns me. Something that makes me very nervous. Something that I don't enjoy. And I admit I'm so sorry. For some reason, the word Iraq has been stuck in my head for 20 years, and so that was the first thing I said. So my apologies for that. Now, with that said, as you come in, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. What I'm going to do is talk to you guys about what's going on, what the implications are of this terrible war, as well as how you might want to play this financially, because there's going to be an impact on the stock market. And in fact, just the way Donald Trump thinks, I wouldn't be surprised if they started the war on the weekend deliberately to avoid consequences in the stock market. I really believe that. I really believe that the reason they started this war on the weekend is so that the stock markets would have 2 days before they could react. I mean, it's not a coincidence that everything started up on a Saturday night. But then again, maybe I'm just tripping on this. But anyway, so with that being said, let me break some of this down for you in terms of what's going on, what things you might want to know. First off, this is the first time we've ever bombed Iran. This has never happened in history, to my knowledge. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. So the involvement of the U.S. in the war could lead to a broader regional conflict. You got Hezbollah out there. You've got different militias. You've got Hamas. So basically, this conflict could broaden across the Middle East and really across the world. If you remember, for years we've had wide open immigration policies where just anybody and everybody could come across the border for about the last 4 or 5 years. It wouldn't surprise me if there are individuals who are already planted here, who are already prepared for war, who are already ready to make Americans feel the pain, because I know that they know that we don't have a lot of political will. There's going to be major economic disruptions. Iran, the big question mark is the Strait of Hormuz. If 20% of the oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz, which is a very small little pocket of water that brings, I think, like I said, 20% of the world's oil. That's a lot of oil. And so basically, if they disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, that's going to shoot the price of oil up super high. Right now, the price of oil has already been going up. I mentioned to you all the other day that I was going to buy some stock in some different ETFs that relate to the price of oil, that relate to that industry, just in case this happened. And lo and behold, here we are with this disruption. So basically, some of those stocks, those defense companies that we bought last week, if you guys were in stock market class, you guys know we were talking about this just a few days ago. And I mentioned to you all the other day that based on what I know about Trump and his background, my prediction was that he was going to escalate this war. I think the only mistake I made financially is that I didn't buy more of these stocks, because there are specific assets you can buy that make money during wartime. Now, obviously, war is a net loss to the world or net loss to society, but overall, it just is what it is. It's my job just to share the facts with you. So here's some other information that you may want to know about this war. First of all, the Iran's they have a pretty big military, and so they have a lot of what they call asymmetric warfare tactics with like missile strikes, guerrilla operations, etc. A lot of Americans and a lot of civilians could be hurt. Don't think that you can't be touched. Don't think you can't be touched by this. Everybody can be touched by this. Domestically, a military intervention could actually cause support for the existing regime in Iran, which can actually strengthen the hardliners, right? Which can actually push them to stand up to the U.S. a whole lot more than before, right? So ultimately, this is one of these things that really isn't gonna go away anytime soon. I don't agree with Trump's move on this. I think that he made a big mistake. I think that the Israelis, they tend to control the United States. I don't know what the hell they have on them. I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein, who actually, a lot of people actually speculate. I don't know if y'all know this, but a lot of people speculated that Epstein was a spy for Israeli intelligence, and that his goal was to blackmail all of the leading U.S. officials, so they're all on this Epstein list. And I'm wondering if that might be one of the variables that leads them to control the United States so well. And also, I know that money plays a big part in this too. So, in general, I would encourage you to be just mindful of this, right? This is not what the American people want. Most people don't want to go bomb Iran, and this is just really unfortunate that this is happening right now. Anyway, so as we move forward, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some investing strategies you might want to dive into. These are what I call profit alerts. And here we go. Let me lay out a few things you can do. It really comes down to what you believe is going to happen. So if you believe that let me ask y'all a quick question real quick. How many of y'all believe that the conflict is going to escalate or slow down? How many of you think that that Trump is going to keep on pushing and escalate the war, or how many of you think that he's going to actually slow the war down? What's your prediction? Put your prediction in the chat, and I'm going to tell you just some variables that exist in this equation, and then I'm going to tell you about some investments you can make if you believe one thing or the other. All right. The U.S. military is going to be strained. So this is going to cause problems. With China's watching, Russia's watching. So Russia's like, okay, so you're fighting Iran. You can't fight us the way you were fighting us before. And remember, Russia has those hypersonic missiles, which should keep you up at night. Okay, a lot of you believe it's going to escalate. Everett says escalate. Sheila says escalate. Miriam says escalate. Sharif, Roy, Glenda, I see you, LL, Nidra. Everybody says escalate. Okay, well, let me go through this then. LL, that makes me think of the rapper. LL called me one day. I talked to him one time, and we had a great conversation. It was about 10 minutes, and he was dealing with a controversy. He asked for my advice. I gave it to him, and I was really impressed because he did exactly what I said, and it worked out for him. So I liked him. He's a smart guy. I like people who know how to listen. Kanye doesn't listen. LL did listen. All right, so here, one thing you can do is there are all these defense contractors you could buy stock in. I don't know what their stock prices are going to do on Monday. If you bought them Friday, chances are you'd make money on Monday. Raytheon, ticker symbol RTX. Somebody type this in the chat. Raytheon is RTX. Lockheed Martin is LMT. LMT. Northrop Grumman is NOC. NOC. So somebody type NOC in the chat as well for Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman, that stock has actually gone up about 5% this month. And it's actually gone down the last 5 days because everyone thought that Trump was going to back off. They believed him when he said that he was going to spend 2 weeks thinking about it. I didn't believe that at the time, and I wish I had acted on it a little bit more aggressively. I did buy some oil companies and things like that. I bought XLE. XLE is an oil ETF, and I assume that's going to make me some money on Monday. But truth is, it's not going to be as much as it would have been if I'd done exactly what I was actually thinking. I think sometimes you procrastinate, and I pay the price of procrastination. If the war escalates and then Iran decides to get gangster with the oil supply, that's going to really have a huge impact on the price of oil. If they decide they want to jack up the Strait of Hormuz, which would be kind of like them cutting off their nose to spite their face, it's going to hurt them, but it's also going to hurt us. And it's really a matter of how much pain the Iranian people will allow their government to endure in order to fight the war, right? Like, war is such a terrible loss to the world because everybody suffers, everybody loses, everybody gets hurt. So a lot of times you'll see countries that will go to war and they will do something that they know is going to hurt themselves, but they know it's also going to hurt the enemy, right? And this is why war is just something that's bad for economics. It's bad for society. It's just bad for everybody. But if they decide they want to go and disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, then that's going to be a massive jump in the price of oil, which affects companies like ExxonMobil, ticker symbol XOM. That's XOM as in xylophone. OM, Chevron, CVX, that ticker symbol CVX. Also, if you have gold, how many of you have gold? Gold is great because gold is a safe haven asset. Gold is something that you buy just in case crazy things like this happen. So what tends to occur whenever this kind of thing happens, whenever there's a war, whatever, the price of gold goes way up. And we've been talking about gold for a minute. I own a ton of gold. I've been buying gold for a while because I kind of felt like geopolitical risk was quite high. So gold is your friend in situations like this. Let's see what else is here. Let's see, Dr. Boyce, should we be American first or black first in this issue? Ask Morpheus. I'm always black first. I'm black first every day of the week. But you live in America, right? And also a lot of our people that are in here are soldiers and veterans, and I think everybody has a right to think how they want to think. I don't think that I don't understand. I don't really get when people are like, I've seen these videos where these people are pretending to write letters to Iran saying we ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, I can tell you if they drop a nuclear bomb or a dirty bomb or something on the American soil, it's gonna hit everybody. Everybody gonna feel it. It ain't it ain't like it ain't like they're gonna miss the black people, right? As much as I hate it, we have these leaders that don't represent us, that are doing things that we don't agree with, and even in the Obama administration there was war, the Trump administration there was war, the Bush administration there was war. I never agree with any of it. But anyway, let's keep going here. So gold is, which the ticker symbol is GLD. GLD is the gold ETF. So if you think that the conflict's going to continue, then buying some gold might be helpful. And then, of course, if you're into stock options, there's going to be a lot of market volatility. I don't buy volatility; I sell it. So if you want to sell the volatility and get cash flow, or buy the volatility and try to make a profit, it's up to you to decide how to respond to that. And so if you're not sure how options work, things like that, you can join our options class. It's really, really good. You can go to drboyceprime.com. That's drboyceprime.com. And I'll put the URL on the screen so you guys can join us if you want to. Or you can also text the word options to the number 87948. So text options to 87948, and I'll brief you on some of that stuff directly. I'll send you things. All right. Now, a few more things in terms of what you might want to know. So other complications of this war is that there could be a diplomatic fallout. A lot of our allies in Europe and around the world don't like what the U.S. is doing. So this can weaken the cohesion of NATO, but Trump doesn't support NATO. So that's what that is. There could be a humanitarian crisis, millions of people displaced, which could make things worse for people in Iran. Also, most critically, if the Iranians are in this war, there are some in Iran who find this to be reason to accelerate, not decelerate their nuclear program. So once Iran kind of has a nuclear bomb, that's kind of a tough situation for everybody around the world. That's something that, the Israelis are in danger, Americans are in danger, and it could be a big old mess. So anyway, by the way, the reason I'm not on screen is because I wanted to just hop in via audio. And I'm doing this also for my Spotify podcast called Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market. If you go to Spotify, look up my name, Boyce Watkins, and you can find the podcast on Spotify. So just look up Boyce Watkins and you'll find it there. So right now, the situation is still fluid. Nobody knows exactly everything that's happening and what's going on. I'll give you, a couple more things to think about in terms of how to invest during times like this. Capital preservation has to be the top priority. So instead of first thinking about how to make money, I would encourage you to think about how to protect your money. Also, defensive sectors might also include stocks that are not going to be hurt as badly if this volatility occurs. Like I own a lot of stock in McDonald's and as well as Walmart. Companies like that are going to do fine even in a downturn. This could be the thing that pushes us into a recession. I don't know. I don't know. The dynamics move in both directions. So that part is hard to predict. I know the Federal Reserve is watching. This may be a catalyst for them to lower interest rates, which could be a boost for the market. So nobody knows. Nobody really knows exactly. But safe haven assets like the gold and stuff like that, that is a kind of a surefire thing. The price of gold tends to go up when you have craziness like this. Also, stay liquid. So I would try to keep my cash on the side so that when the bad news comes in, it's an opportunity to buy. So what I'm going to be doing on Monday is I'm going to be buying stock. I'm going to go shopping in the stock market because the market is likely going to dip on Monday. Again, that's why I really believe, based on how Donald Trump thinks, I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to declare war on Saturday because the market doesn't open for 2 days. I really believe that this was a part of his equation. And if you think about this, he wanted to surprise everybody. He lulled people to sleep. I'm sure he whispered to his buddies, like, hey, we're going to declare war this weekend. Go ahead and position and buy some defense contractor stocks. And the truth of the matter, though, is that if you really know the nature of Trump, it was kind of an easy play. Like I bought some defense contractors this week because I said, I cannot imagine Trump not using the opportunity to use our military. He's the kind of guy, he's probably got a tiny little penis or something. He's the type of guy that just loves to show off those big, gigantic planes and those big old bombs. He's almost like a kid in that way. So I really felt like he was going to use that as a chance to show strength and the United States firepower and everything else. The problem, though, is that there are people that know how to hit back. And also the other problem is that he looks a little silly in the sense that Benjamin Netanyahu kind of controls him and controls the government and kind of tricked him into backing their war. That's not even our war. And that's the part that disappoints me a lot. What else? You want to monitor the situation closely. So just know that this can move your portfolio pretty heavily, pretty quickly. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to mention to you? Well, I do know that companies like Palantir, modern warfare has changed. Modern warfare has evolved. Modern warfare now involves cybersecurity issues, right? So a lot of AI, AI-driven cyber warfare is going to become more prevalent. That might make companies like Palantir more valuable. Palantir is already a stock that could be overpriced, but if you're into that kind of thing, PLTR is the ticker. Palantir, PLTR may be a stock you may want to look at for that kind of thing. So that's pretty much everything. That's all that's on my mind right now. I just got back from dinner with my wife, and so I'm gonna go lay down with my pretty beautiful wife. And shout out to gorgeous Black women with all them sexy curves. Y'all just irresistible. You're the most beautiful women on the planet. So I'm gonna go lay next to my beautiful wife and go to bed. And I will be back tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to join us for class tomorrow, text the word morning to the number 87948. Text morning to 87948. I'll send you an invitation. And also, we have monthly family business meetings where we plan legacy, estate planning, where you can talk to me about what you're trying to do with your family and everything else. And so if you want to join us, just go to economicelevationcircle.com. The economic elevation circles are basically close-knit, small group interfaces where we get a chance to really talk about our plan to build that long-term Black economic power. So economicelevationcircle.com is right there on the screen. So feel free to take a look. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll check in with you guys soon. Take care. Peace.